Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Lord's Day. Thank the Lord for another day. And I'm just having some coffee. It's a little nippy this morning when I got up. Yep, pretty soon it'll be time for the Eden Pure. It'll be time for the Eden Pure heater to break out. A lot of stuff going on with Delphi now. Everybody's coming into Delphi. And you know what's funny? Is they act like they've been on this case for 6 years, like a couple of us. We pretty much got this dialed in, folks. Now, was there any other way to do that job out there in Delphi? I'm not sure. I would probably say, yeah. A couple weeks ago, I did a video saying, is it possible that maybe somebody in a boat dropped them off there? Maybe. I'm not sure, though. But there would be evidence of the boat uh, coming ashore. Here's the bottom line: we don't know because we haven't seen the photos. There's been a couple crime scene photos, but only by the shore, by the creek or whatever, and you don't even know if that was from them actually. Yeah, a lot of people are upset. They just didn't do the job too good uh, investigating it, and the FBI was out there in that area for other cases. So maybe the FBI did their investigation and everything. They have more evidence than the police, maybe, or I noticed one thing everybody underneath the sun is doing Delphi videos. But it turned out to be a beautiful morning. God bless this world. Pretty much calm out there, right? How's the new camera look? I'm trying to get this new software going. I can't get it to open up. I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to look for this amp cam for Windows 8. I think the one that I downloaded was Windows 10. So I'm having some coffee here, sitting, chilling. And I think today I'm going to get my tools out and I am going to change my battery. It's going to have to be soon because I think they said we got some rain coming this week. Maybe that, though. As you can see, them leaves are turning color. Won't be long now, folks. Maybe the weather pattern that they're saying we're going to get this year. We won't have a lot of snow, but when it does snow, they're saying it'll be a lot. Right? Cold front, hot front converging together. So, from what the weather guys are saying, when it does snow, it's going to dump a lot of snow. And then get warm again. Last year wasn't too bad. We had a lot of snow, maybe about a foot, if that. But it didn't snow consistently throughout summer. It just one big storm dumped a lot of snow, and then it was back to 40, 50-degree weather, melted it, and then we'd get another storm. It'd come in, dump massive amounts of snow, and then it'd be 50 degrees out again, melt all the snow. Yeah, I'd say the world's changing a little bit, folks. A cycle that it goes through. The earth is like a woman's body, changes, chemically imbalanced sometimes. But then the earth's got to get itself back on track and go through a cycle. We're hoping. Coffee. Well, I guess I should pick up this mess from last night watching YouTube and doing videos and pizza box sitting here. Folks, if you want some good pizza, right down here at LA Express gas station. I know what you're saying. How are you going to get good pizza at a gas station? It's pretty good pizza. It's Hunt Brothers pizza. It don't taste too bad. Right? Now we do have a new pizza place in town. Little tiny restaurant in one of the old 1800 buildings out here or whatever. Right here in town, right down the street from me. And people are saying they got good pizza. But then there's also a Pizza Hut on the outskirts of town. But if you really want good pizza, I believe Portillo's in Fort Wayne, which I used to drive out there all the time and get beef sandwiches. Portillo's is from Chicago. That's where I'm from. So when I heard they were coming out here, I was like, yeah, Portillo's. They got great beef sandwiches and all kinds of stuff, pizza. Another good place in Chicago to get pizza is Pat's Pizzas, which I'm friends with on Facebook, which I did ask Pat if he would ship me a pizza out here, but he said it'd be very expensive. I was like, hey, I might take you up on that one day. It's only like a 3-hour difference, right, from here to Chicago. Other than that, it's just another Sunday, right? Chilling with the Lord. I got to make it over to my mother's this week. I got to get my mother's yard, all of her plants in her front yard that I landscaped and planted. I got to cut them all down now, get it ready for winter. I just don't want to cut them down early because they'll grow back. And then she'll call me and say, can you come cut down my plants again? Right? So I'm trying to hold out as long as I can so they don't grow back. Oh, hold on. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That time of year, folks, make sure you got your flu medicine. Make sure you got your cold and flu. Make sure you got your cough drops, your ibuprofen, Aleve, whatever you use. Make sure that time of season coming around. Cold flu season. Oh, my knee was just killing me yesterday. I'm telling you, I think someone touched me, laid hands on me or something. I was feeling pretty good. And that's just it. Whenever you get feeling good, the devil comes a creeping. I was watching some YouTubers talk about the Delphi case and all this uh, pagan, whatever it is, beliefs, witchery, sorcery that that still lives amongst us. I think we've been doing it all along wrong. If it is true that any of this is true, any of this sorcery, witchery, Odinism, any of this stuff, if it is true, then folks, I have a feeling that we'll be going back into the past, meaning actually prosecuting people for witchery and sorcery and occult activities, and punishing them for it. So I hope they get this right, because if it is true, everyone's saying this is us. It's true, witches, demons, and now, folks, we will be prosecuting people for that. I know the courts up here by me are pissed. I'm like, get the guillotines ready. Get them out of the basement. We all have them in the courthouse. That's what they used to do. They took the hanging machine down, the platform and everything. They put it in the basement at the courthouse. The guillotine, they put it in the basement at the courthouse because they believed it wasn't real. Right? But I'm starting to see within the crime community that that's what we might be dealing with. People have been getting attacked, and it ain't God. We know that. So it's something these YouTubers or these people conjured up. Maybe a spirit or a witch or a curse, or I don't know. But if it comes to find out that we the people find out that all along that it's been real, and we've been lied to, and witchery and sorcery and all this stuff is real, just like the Bible said, and the government refuses to acknowledge it, or finally does acknowledge it and says, we believe that this is real. That we live amongst these people. They're practicing sorcery, witchery in their basements. We'll have to go through all of America. We cannot have this. This must end. And that would make sense. Why everything is a whirlwind, why everything is so confusing. Whenever somebody gets involved in the Delphi case, they get attacked. So I imagine some of these people, if it was these Odins, it is Odin season now. They'll be going through YouTube, looking for all these videos and these people. And it's open season now on witches, sorcerers, and Odins, or whatever they are. And what I mean by open season is not making videos about you folks. Open season means hunting you down like animals. Of course, whenever I say that, Uncle Ted Nugent gets all excited. Uncle Ted gets out. We're going to hunt. We're going to be hunting humans, the most dangerous thing on earth. It's almost like an alien, or it's almost like the Predator movie. So now that we have proof of this, the United States government and all the branches and everything have proof. Now, there is rumors out there that one of our generals did go ahead and say something. We knew we shouldn't have let this shit go on. And, the government was trying to cover all bases, Pentagon and everybody, by using this witchery, sorcery stuff to try and get one up on our, whatever. But now the military's kicking themselves everyone's kicking themselves in the butt, going, we're going to have to kill this. Right? And I don't blame them. I understand 100%. You let this get out too far, then you got a bunch of, then we're back in medieval times. We got witches and demon curses and alchemy and all this stuff. So yeah, they got to nip it in the bud out there in Delphi. There's numerous ways there, but I don't think the girls were there. There's no way Richard Allen did all this by himself, left no footprints, no nothing. Right? No blood trail. The girls were killed at one spot and carried to the other spot or whatever, or drug or whatever they're saying. I don't even think they were there, folks. They would have been found. Right? Everybody is forgetting that there was hundreds of people out there that night looking for the girls. They searched that whole area. They were even parked by the cemetery. How do you miss it? That's where the girls were, right behind the cemetery. How do you miss something like that? They had lights out there, dogs, they had everything out there. How do you miss that? Right? They weren't there that night. They even had drones out there with. But here's the thing: we don't even know if they were telling the truth about the search party. Now I do remember seeing the news clip because I live out here. It was on the news of people out there looking for the girls, a whole bunch of country boys or whatever. Yeah. I don't even think they were there, folks. And it makes sense. That's why no one heard nothing out there. There was actually people on the trail as this was occurring. So it makes sense. No, he didn't walk up to him and kill him because there would have been evidence of blood on the railroad tracks. Or right after you get off the railroad tracks, there would have been a blood trail leading down into the river. Right? So they're not telling us. Do I think it was a bad call that they didn't release all the information and everything? Yes. I think the police made a boo-boo by not releasing stuff they should have released. So that's just crazy. It's crazy. How did he do it? Well, I can tell you this much. For them girls not to scream or make any attempt to try and get away, they felt comfortable. Somebody that was there or something made them feel comfortable not to scream. And, I was watching a lot of these professional guys. Well, they were in fear stage where they just froze. They couldn't say nothing. They couldn't move. They couldn't do nothing. They were scared so much, they froze. Right? Well, if that's the case, how did he get them to where he got them if they were so scared and froze? Or ran, screamed, somebody should have heard something. Natural instincts of a 12 or 13-year-old girl that's been scared to death. She's going to scream. Right? Do something. They're not just going to stand there and, I don't know. I'm not buying that part, but is it possible they're because rumors are they were there to meet somebody. So this is what I might come across is they did go there and they met the person and he or they took the girls somewhere else, did and that would explain the phone pinging around town or in town or whatever that night. Right? Remember in the beginning of this case, there was people, well, her phone was pinging all over town. Right? Well, that's evidence right there. If that phone was pinging around town or all over town or whatever, then the killers had her phone. And most likely had the girls. Right? Most likely was watching the news, possibly even, knew that they called off the search and brought the girls back late at night. But here's the thing. They just didn't handle it right. Right? If I was going to call off the search, if I was in charge of the search team, hello, Kiki Ice. I didn't see you there. Hello, Kiki. If I was going to be calling off this search team, and there was any kind of suspicion or anything, which they didn't know, they just thought maybe the girls ran away or was missing or whatever, I would have set up cameras before I left, right? I would have told my guys, hey, listen, we're pulling out. It's late. I want you to set up some cameras around here until we come back tomorrow. Videotape, right? Make sure this guy don't come back, whatever, or whoever it was or whatever. Maybe we could see the girls in the middle of the night trying to find her way around in the woods. Or there was a lot of things they didn't do. How come the heat sensing infrared drone didn't pick their bodies up? Nothing. These people keep insisting that they crossed the river. And I'm like, how do you know that? Because in the reports, it doesn't even mention that the girls' clothes were wet. Right? Everyone, well, their shoes and clothes were in the river. Well, the guy could have threw them in there, hoping that they would sink or float downstream or whatever to try and throw people off of actually where the girls were, maybe. A diversion. And I don't know. Crazy case. I think we pretty much got it all wrapped up. I think the police are doing a good job. People have been getting arrested down there. If it ain't for murder, they're arresting them for this kiddie porn, pedophilia crap or whatever, which is all connected to Abby and Libby's case. People just can't see the big picture. Right? You got Keegan Kline using the Anthony Shots fake account. You got Richard Allen that was using the Anthony Shots account. We don't know how many of them are using that account, which it was proved that they were supposed to meet somebody there that day that supposedly was luring them. So it kind of makes all sense to me, but a lot of people are all shocked it's one guy, it's this. No, it was many. Many played a part in this, folks. As soon as they picked up all these guys for this kiddie porn thing, and they all knew each other. Right? They all knew each other down there, and people just can't figure it out. They just cannot figure it out. Right? Even Anthony Greeno said that he's from Delphi, and he knew all these guys that were involved in. Right? It was probably a ring or something. Maybe Anthony Greeno did solve the case, right? I highly doubt it, though, folks. But is it possible he did know all these? This is the club he was talking about that he belonged to, was these idiots. I think we are really close to Armageddon, folks. I think the Lord's going to start pointing out people and saying these are not good people. Then again, this might be a tactic that the government, can use to wipe out massive amounts of people. It wasn't us; it was these witches and demons. Right? It was these people ain't using their head; they're not seeing the big picture out here. Right? People don't even realize that we got an F-18 Raptor, fully loaded, flying around without a pilot. Ejected. People don't realize a lot of things. Aliens, right? My God, it's aliens. That's just another. I agree with that one dude, that one scientist. Folks, if there was aliens, we would have been dead by now. They would have wiped us out. If these people traveled millions of light years to get here, surely they would be able to wipe us out in a blink of an eye. It could be tactics of, oops, we just wiped out a whole country. But it wasn't us, it was the aliens. Right? People are going to say, I seen a green light. You did, but that's our new weaponry. But it was the aliens. I don't think people are getting the big picture here. I hope one day they wake up and see very soon. Do I think it was a shabby job down there? I don't know. Too much. They created a mystery, folks, the perfect storm. Now the only opportunity we have, or what we should do, is just lock them all up. Just to make sure whoever it was, even the police. Some people are saying it was the police in Delphi. Lock them up. Morning, Tahoe. So who knows? Is it possible to get a boat in there in February? Yes. The river's high enough. We had a lot of runoff water from up north here. So there probably was enough water in the creek. It wasn't. It was moving water. That's why it wasn't frozen. Was a warm winter that year in 2017. So is it possible they did bring in the boat, which I mentioned weeks ago in my video, that the only other way to get in there is by boat? Boat, or the only other thing would be a start looking around there. If any of you folks live down in Delphi, see if they have any hovercrafts down there or airboats. You know, them boats with the giant fan on them. But dang, you'd hear that in the middle of the night out there. I don't know. Is it possible? I don't know. They could have canoed in. We had a lot of talk of the tunnels out there in Delphi. No, it very well might possibly have happened that way, folks. He abducted, kidnapped the girls, took them to the tunnel, tied them up, got out of there, was planning to come back there and finish the job. Once all the people left the crime scene, he went back and got the bodies and placed them there or whatever, right? But here's the thing. How do you get from all the way from that tunnel carrying these girls? One of the girls was not a small girl. Right? She was 14, but she was a bigger girl. She played softball. He would have had to carry her. Or four-wheeler. You ain't gonna get no truck in there with all them trees. So he would have had to go in with a four-wheeler. Put the bodies right on top of the four-wheeler like they do dares when they kill a deer. They tie it right to the front of the four-wheeler. Hey Tahoe, how is it being a free man? Are you happy? The wife happy? Everything going good? That's good. I'll be letting more people out. It was my fault. It was my fault, Tahoe. There was so many people in here changing their names and attacking me. I just started locking up everybody. Right? I can't make fun of people. When people make fun of me, I get upset about it. And when I make fun of people, they get upset about it. So it was just a free for all that night. People got locked up that weren't supposed to be getting locked up, but we didn't know you guys were changing your names and playing games with us or whatever. We'll release everybody. Everybody was taken care of in my lockup. They were fed every night rice and beans. We treated our people in our lockup excellent. Uh, Gave them flu shots and everything, condoms, all kinds of stuff. Right? Leave them in there. Now Tahoe's saying you leave the rest of the dudes in there. Tahoe's free. He's like, leave them dudes in there. They're idiots. No, I don't blame you, Tahoe. Now at least you're free. Go home to the wife. Go home, have a great night, great day. All glory goes to God. Uh, Enjoy your freedom. Right? This is what you get. Are you the wolf, Tahoe? I know last night you came in here saying something about the wolf. And I do have a wolf in there, but it's changed. It was Tahoe, the great almighty wolf. And then it changed to Tahoe, the eighth wonder of the world, wolf. It was on I don't know. You're free though. Go home to your wife. All right. You're free. Go home, enjoy a good cooked meal, take a shower. You could drop the soap in your own shower now, Tahoe. Enjoy life, my friend. Sorry we got all mixed up. I hope this is the real Tahoe. This is unreal. Right? I'm gonna have to start taking my medication again. All these people out there. Yes, Tahoe, go home. You're free. You're free. You can take a shower without worried about penny keys. I'm the real Tahoe. I know, but wait a couple minutes. There'll be someone else that comes in saying, that's not the real Tahoe. I'm the real Tahoe. I had 5 marshmallows in my chat one day. No, I am the real marshmallow. They were all fighting. I want to be a mod. All right, what information did you find out while you were in lockup? Little did you folks know that I sent Tahoe into my lockup. Deliberately, he was working undercover in my lockup. What's the 411? What did we find out? Tahoe. I know a lot of people are like, what? Tahoe was a secret agent? Yes. Then I sent him in within the group, the organization that I had locked up within my YouTube channel. It was unreal. We got a lot of information, though. I can tell you that much. Thanks to one of the great special forces guys, Tahoe. He broke the case, everyone. I want to thank Tahoe, because if it wasn't for him, we would have never been able to infiltrate these sick men that were in my chat. There was a couple women, but mostly men. And then again, the way these women talk, actually might have been a man. I'm not sure, but that was why we brought Tahoe in to go inside my prison and get these people, weed them out. And he did. I want to thank him for that. I should send him a Purple Heart. I should get a Purple Heart. I had more people coming in here harassing me about having Tahoe in, but I couldn't let people know the mission we were on. I had to send him in within my own lockup, my own prison, to weed through these people. And from what Tahoe said, it was sick in there. These people were sick. Men looking at him like he was a piece of meat. I'm glad he's out of there. I'm glad we did get him out of there. You know, one time I had a guy in a pigeon suit, 6 months, in this dude's bird bath. Yeah. One of my great agents, Les Nagy, he is retired now. His wife was very upset because I had him in a pigeon suit for 6 months. sitting in this dude's $1 million bird bath watching him. And people were, he went through a lot of psychological problems because people were making fun of his weight. Now, Les Nagy is probably about 6 foot, 250 pounds. So I had to create a pigeon suit so it would look normal. He went through torture. People were walking by. Martha, that's the biggest pigeon I've ever seen in my life. His feet were all waterlogged and everything. Looked like prunes. But we got our man that day. Thank you, Les Nagy, if you are still out there. One of the greatest undercover, deep cover guy that spent 6 months inside of a pigeon suit with a radio to communicate with us. It was unreal. It was unbelievable. After that case, people were walking up to their bird bats and ripping stuff. One guy ripped a plant right out of his front porch. Well, because I had Les dress up in a tree suit. He looked like a tree. You couldn't even tell. We put him in a pot, slid him right up to the door for 6 months. The guy walked in and out of his house, right past Les. It was unreal. You couldn't even tell. Well, we got that guy too. And, well, we'll go through any extremes to get our men, any uniforms. And I'm looking at trying to surveil this one guy out here by me in my little town here. Everyone's asking, what do we do? Dare? Now, we used Dare a couple of years ago. Maybe if I can get one of my teammates inside of a squirrel uniform, right? We got squirrels running around all over. The guy, of course, the squirrel will probably be the biggest squirrel anyone has seen in their lives, but that's all right. We'll just set them in one of the oak trees out here at the top of the branch, and people, they'll never know. Nah, we'll do anything to get our men. I sent Tahoe in. How many years were you in lockup, Tahoe? Or wait, months. I think it was 6 months. But we got all the information that we needed, and I got to refill my coffee. Coffee in the morning. 5 months you were in? All right, I'll get a hold of Brack. Let him know, send you that check out to you. I'll get a hold of the department and let them know. 5 months in a pigeon suit, or in lockup, I mean. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad we got the info and intel that we got. And we're moving right along, folks. We're not slowing this ship down. We're going to penetrate America and get all you bad guys. All you bad guys got to go. Oh, that coffee is good. God bless America. I hope. Sweet. Hey, Tahoe, you know anything about computers? You know anything about computers? Why is this camera flickering? Do you think it's a cord, or do you think that I don't have the software? I guess you're supposed to download software for it. Will it work better with the software, or should I get rid of uh, my old camera, or Logitech software, uninstall it? Will this one work? I don't know. It's a beautiful picture. It really is. HD 1080. It's even got a built-in light, built-in microphone. But I get a glitch, right? I get that glitch once in a while. What is that glitch? The flicker isn't bad. I get a little bit of flicker. That's what it's called. I thought it was a glitch. A flicker. Yeah, that's what I get, a flicker. I can't have that flicker. See? Just flickered. It's unbelievable. Let me situate. You think it could be the cord? Nice and crisp. Yeah, it looks good. But I guess there's software for this camera. And you could I guess you could use it for a 3D printer or something. It's got 3D capability or something like that. You can hook it up to a printer and do, I don't know, it's crazy. I was reading up on it. 3D capabilities, zoom in and out, and you could do all kinds of stuff with it, change it. But I don't have the software. I just plugged it into my computer, and I went directly to YouTube, and it's working. It's probably not working like it should be working. I want to be able to get inside there and do things. I want to be able to zoom, right, and zoom out as YouTube, as it's being filmed. So I can get right in. I got a couple cardinals flying around out here. And I'm like 5 minutes of that from Michigan border. And not once did we hear, and I'm talking, I've been watching this case since the day it happened. All the stuff. And not once did they mention anything about, oh, didn't you guys know there's a tunnel underneath the bridge, right? Not one time did anybody mention anything. We didn't even hear about it in the news broadcasting. How do all these people know about some tunnel that's under the Delphi Bridge? But we didn't hear a dang thing about it until what? Until they caught Richard Allen. Now we're hearing about some underground bridge system. I don't believe there is, folks. I think these people are making things up as they go to try and divert us from the truth of the case. And if you read the report, the Odin reports that are out now, right? If you read in there, the defense is saying killers, not killer. Killers. Maybe they know something we don't know. Then again, I always believed it was a group. It was a dudes. And you know what's funny is people don't realize that I've been out here for 30-something years. Family's from, my father was from Indiana. I was born and raised in Chicago. But what people don't realize in the Delphi case is, for one, it's disappeared from the news channels. From two, we didn't hear a dang thing about this bridge or this tunnel system underneath the bridge. Why? Don't you think that would have played a big factor in the case if they would have came out and said, hey, there's tunnel systems underneath the bridge out there. All right. Well, that would make sense, right? Why almost 50 to 100 men out there looking for the uh, girls didn't find them. Right? You had all these people, all these lights, dogs, four wheelers, people out there looking for the girls, both sides. And they even interviewed some of the searchers saying, we searched that whole area, both sides of the creek, both sides of the train tracks, and they found nothing. The next day they go back and at 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, early afternoon, they found the girls. Explain that. Right? People out there with drones looking for any kind of heat source or anything. We were hoping that the girls just got lost or maybe fell, right? Broke an ankle or something and they couldn't hike back out, right? I mean, that's what everyone was hoping. We had no idea, um, you know, that they were dead. And I'm telling you, the more you investigate this case, the more it leads back to this group, that this tight group of people, right, that all belong to this gang out there. And some were YouTubers, and some said that Mike Patty was even a biker. Mike Patty was a suspect in the case when it first came out. The girl's own grandparent, well, step grandparent, which I'm saying they were related to the Hubbards or something like that, or maybe it might be the Hubbard. Everyone was screaming out. It was some. I think you're going to find that these people all have connections, and they were tracked to Fort Wayne, up into Angola. Uh, I don't know who it was because I wasn't there. All I know is that there has been a little bit of things here and there in Indiana on the news that there's a drug problem. This white powder stuff, whether it's fentanyl or meth or cocaine or whatever. Uh, it's a problem. And if they came to me and said the girls died because they knew too it was a drug operation and it was all staged to look like something else, I would believe it. I would believe it. Sure would, because there's rumors that one of the girls' fathers uh, rolled on somebody, became an informant. So it makes perfect sense to me. And people were screaming out about Smith Island and all this, and then the Hubbard thing, and then people started getting attacked by people, right? Trolls and everybody attacking our channels and everything. It probably made perfect sense. Now, do I know that's the truth? No, but that's what people were saying, and there was clips of her on TV. What happened in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then we had a out in Angola, which is like 30 minutes away from me. And I guess they tracked it to this group of, I don't know, nut jobs or something. And here's what the thing is. This is what the whole thing was, right? These idiots were on YouTube talking about they belong to some club, some gang or something. Bike, they ride motorcycles. So when the word Odin came up, and it just came up, folks, not too long, just a couple of weeks or so, the Odins. Well, everybody was thinking exactly what I was thinking, right? It was a biker war, drugs involved, whatever, prostitution and everything like that. You know, Kurtz and them was busted, and they were pimping out women to their club or whatever. So is it possible that these guys uh, tried to make it out to be some tree huggers? instead of the what everyone was thinking. It was a biker war. Maybe. But I feel sorry for them bikers because once word gets out that they killed 2 little girls and other girls down there, there'll probably be a massive uplifting against them. Right? I would imagine so. Who knows who cares? Nobody really cares anymore, folks. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't give a crap anymore. Right? It's nobody's fault but the United States government's fault for letting these people operate within our own country. And you're going to have stuff like that. That's why a lot of people are picking up, they're moving. They don't want no part of this crap. Right? People are sick of it. I've ran into people that we don't even want to hear about the Delphi case. It's just so messed up. And how could this be happening? And well, it's easy when you got a corrupt state. Right? Then you have to look at it this way too. Indiana is the only state that's holding out. All the other states around them have legalized cannabis. And Indiana thought that they were just going to become the superheroes and not legalize cannabis for medical health or recreational health, that they were going to take on the whole world and bring all these people to justice. They were threatening people. If you come through our state with cannabis going to Michigan or Ohio or down in Tennessee or wherever, Kentucky, and you come back to our state, we're going to lock you up and all this and that. It's no wonder our jail system is so flooded. They're letting these rapists and kitty pedo dudes free, and they're locking up people for a joint, cannabis or whatever. Bunch of idiots. Up north here, the police don't even bother with it, right? Because we're so close to the border where it's actually legally, it's legal to smoke, like 5 minutes away from the border. So the police don't really even. Plus, they did. The only thing Indiana did was change the law. It's not a felony anymore. It's a misdemeanor if you're found with so much cannabis. It's a misdemeanor if it's a big tonnage amount, pounds and stuff. Then they can charge you with a felony. So you know me. I tell people, well, if you're going to buy it, don't buy pounds of it, right? Because they got these cannabis stores all over Michigan. And heck, they even sell the CBD flower at the gas stations out here. But I was telling people, don't buy massive amounts, man. If Indiana says you're only allowed 3.5 grams or whatever it is, or and it'll be a misdemeanor, a ticket, and that's it. You got to pay a ticket. You start moving, going buying pounds and pounds of it. That's the problem, though. I think a lot of these people are buying this, and this is another thing where all it takes is a couple idiots to ruin it for everybody. I think some of these idiots are going to these cannabis stores and buying massive amounts of drugs, of pot, and then they sell it on the streets. And you can't do that. That's illegal. Right? But like I said, all it takes is a couple idiots to ruin it for everybody. And everybody is happy that they legalized cannabis in Michigan. Everyone's like, this is great. Plus, Michigan crime has gone down, meaning they're not locking people up for stupid, doobies or whatever, for smoking a doobie outside your house or getting pulled over with a doobie or a couple grams of cannabis or whatever. So their jails aren't as full, and they're concentrating more on what they should be, killers and evil people. right? People breaking the laws, driving around with no license, people out drinking and driving, people killing, raping, pillaging. Would it bother me if the federal government made it legal? No. Right? I ain't never seen someone smoke a doobie and go cuckoo crazy and kill everybody. Now, I have seen that on meth. I've even seen that on cocaine, LSD, even bear. They get drunk and want to kill. So usually somebody smokes a doobie. They don't want to do too much but sit around, eat food, and laugh and joke and relax. But then again, times have changed. I don't know. I got a black squirrel out here, folks. Hold on. Black squirrel. See him? Now, why can't I zoom in? Ooh, look at, he walked right up onto the, why can't I zoom in? You know what? They have a camera at the pawn shop. I don't know what kind of camera it is, but I also use it for video. Zoom in, zoom out, and all kinds of stuff. So I might get that camera. I think they wanted $60 for it. It's like a real camera. It's not a webcam. It probably could be used for a webcam. So there's that little black squirrel. I probably got about 5 or 6 of them around here. Little booger. And Farmer's Almanac says that when the squirrels have a dark coat like that it's going to be a cold winter. Let me adjust the camera. Man, you really can tell the difference in the camera compared to what I had. Oh, we got a couple of them out there. Squirrel! Black squirrels! Look at how close they are to the ground when they walk. It's almost like they're creeping across the ground. All right, there's that little squirrel back there. I got one over here by the patio. Yeah. All right. I'm going to work on this camera. I got some other things to do. God bless y'all. Have a great day. Be safe. Thank everyone for stopping in Kiki Eyes Tahoe. And what a beautiful day. Right? Let's enjoy it. I think I'm going to put my shorts on and go and sit in the sun and get some sun before winter hits. You folks have a great day. Be safe.